I wanna put my arms around you and you give me a looking like I'm way out of bounds. Smoke this crack, blood.
Sniff that crack, blood. What flavour's your crack?
Watermelon. Watermelon. Hello everyone and welcome back to episode number 54 of the Uncleanables Podcast.
He's back!
I am back. I missed last one and apparently it was a corker.
It was a good one.
So I'm buzzing to watch that one. I've rewatched the birthday one and I was just saying I was in pieces watching it.
It's so funny.
I know, I don't know if that's a weird thing or...
Yeah, but like fuck everyone watching, it was funny for us.
No, it was funny for us. But I don't know if it's a weird thing. If you know when people say like, oh, you laugh at your own jokes though? It's like, yeah, of course I do, because I find them funny. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm back now. So...
you can all relax.
Yeah, it's all right, the chilled. The funny one's back. My editor had done a fantastic job when he was away. No, so what we've been saying then, how are you?
Not too bad, son. Still no baby.
No bambino.
By the time this comes out, there will be a baby though, because they only let you go 2 weeks.
Oh, and then they induce it.
They take it out. Take it out. No, yeah, I'm sure it's 2 weeks.
How do they get your baby out? Like wave a tenner?
Yeah.
And it just fucking, the hand comes out and they grab it and rip it.
That's exactly how they do it, actually.
That's how I came out.
Yeah.
I had change drop and I thought, I'm having that.
So yeah, still no baby, but literally
Any day now.
any day now. So with my other daughter, well, when she was born, I was still working up in the city doing the photo booths.
Yeah.
And it was Christmas. She was born on the 20th of December.
Oh, wow.
She was due on Christmas Day.
Mate, is my hair all right? I don't want to go 45 minutes and realise I look like an egg.
Was that not Jerry Springer? Jerry Maguire, isn't it? Harry Maguire? No. Just a cunt. Yeah, so basically, because I was working up in the city and I had this photo booth that takes 45 minutes to set up and pack down. And I said, if you go into labour whilst I'm at an event...
I'm 45 minutes before getting in the van.
45 minutes to pack it away, then it's at least 45 minutes to get home, depending on what time you go into labour. Yeah. If it's 9 o'clock in the evening, it's probably more like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to have to just finish the event. I can't leave my gear there. By the time I've packed away and got home, I would have finished the event anyway.
Did you get the 5-minute warning then? To say, like, I'm going into labour?
Well, no, she would have texted me if she went into labour. So basically, let me tell the story, you dickhead, and then you'll fucking know, wouldn't you? But I was working up in London at the time, so it was like a big stress. Like, if she goes into labour, am I going to make it back? Yeah. We don't know how long she's going to be in labour because it's our first baby. We don't know how it works. Everyone says it's like a long time with your first, right? So I finished my last event of the year because we've done all the Christmas parties. So there's a period where obviously all the corporate events are shut down, and I didn't really do much domestic work. My last event was on the 19th. I got home at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I was still awake, and she was like, her belly was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then
Ruby was having a rave.
Yeah. So when you go into labour, you sometimes notice, sometimes you don't. You lose a mucus plug. It's called. It looks like snot, and she had this snot, and we didn't know what it was. So I'm like googling it, and I'm like, I think it's your mucus plug. It means you're going into labour. 3 hours later, she started having contractions. Yeah. This is like 5 o'clock in the morning. So we've gone to the hospital. They've checked her over, and they've sent us home. So we were like, what's going on?
Yeah. Mate, she's fit to burst.
Yeah, that's what we thought. But they were not concerned whatsoever, sent us home. They said, come back when your contractions are 2 minutes apart. Now, bearing in mind, I've been up all night.
Yeah, you're mullered.
And I'm like, I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. And I'm like, if you're going into labour, I need to get some sleep.
Yeah,
because if you go in now, like, I'm no good to anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm like dozing.
What changes then when you sleep?
I'm dozing, and she nudges me about 45 minutes later, and she's like, they're about 60 seconds apart.
Oh, mate, double.
And I'm like, you needed to wake me up before.
Yeah.
We need to go right now. We got to the hospital at 9 o'clock in the morning. Ruby was born at 9:55.
No way!
55 minutes.
Mate, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and they reckon...
And then you only paid for an hour parking. Yeah. Mate, result.
Yeah, back then it was fucking expensive. It's not so bad now. But yeah, so this time round, obviously I'm much closer to home.
Yeah.
But I've reduced the amount of work I'm doing each day.
Yeah.
And I'm off So today's Monday. She's due on Friday. I'm off work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully...
I'll be bringing back a new baby gift from my holiday.
Yeah. When are you off?
Thursday.
Well, you might be here before then.
I mean, I don't really know what to get. Should I just bring back a sleeve of fags?
Just like
bottle of rum,
like a 3-bedroom house or something.
Hey,
That'll do us.
Oh, mate, that's
on
unreal,
board.
though.
Yeah, don't mind did that. But mate, that is surrounding my life at the moment. It's all about that.
Yeah,
I'm not really focusing too much on work. But I did do a very successful Facebook campaign this week.
Yes. What was it?
So it's just for window cleaning.
Yeah.
But I wanted to test a few things. So with any marketing, I think, unless you're paying someone, the reason you pay them is because they've done the hard work.
Yeah.
If you don't pay someone, you might have to spend a bit of money to learn what works and doesn't work,
Yep.
which I've been doing over the last 3 years, testing different things. And I've tried the broader approach. So I thought, now what? I'm going to try the real niche approach. So I done a campaign.
So, sorry, when you say broad approach, do you mean I'm curbside and I do cleaning?
Yeah, I do all these services.
Yeah.
And then you market for all these different keywords.
Yeah.
And then people don't know what's put in front of them. So all they see is curbside cleaning.
Yeah.
We do this, and this.
Yeah, it's not.
And they go, well, actually, I might need this. It's a bit overwhelming, so they don't inquire.
Yeah.
So this was just for window cleaning and just for one area, so Hockley. So just Hockley. I managed to get 30 odd inquiries.
Outstanding.
Converted 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge conversion rate.
But
now,
hits.
now I'm VAT registered, I am a little bit more expensive. I'm still charging double for the first clean.
Yeah.
So I got my money back for the 7-day campaign from the first cleans. Then obviously all of those were regular.
Yeah.
I think one of them might have been a one-off. Oh no, she didn't book in the one-off, but yeah. So that worked quite well.
And how much was that, and how long did it run for?
So I'd done 7 days, and I think it was like 25 quid a day. So it was like 300 quid. Is that right? The maths right on that? It was 300 quid budget.
Yeah.
However many days.
A great
it might have
budget.
been 8 days.
That's a great budget.
I just ran it to the end of the month whenever I started it, but it was...
Mate, that's a success story. That's good. Well done.
So that's net, what did I say, net equal.
Net equal.
It hasn't cost me anything because I've got the money back on the first cleans.
Are you going to run, every month, a different service? Or?
So, I think, we'll tell the people about the exciting news in a second, but...
What exciting news?
Well, the new unit.
Oh, okay.
Potentially.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, let's tell them now, because then that can explain what I'm going to do. So
we whisper like the mics ain't worth 400 quid.
Yeah. We went and viewed a new unit, so this could be potentially one of the last podcast episodes we do in this unit.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I'm hoping to hear back today.
It's outstanding.
It is. And we'll do a unit tour.
It's everything you dream of as a unit, and that's no exaggeration.
Yeah.
Roller shutter door, go in, mezzanine floor, office, toilet, kitchen area, boom, away you go.
It's huge, fucking huge.
It's enormous. Yeah.
So a few people have seen it because I've sent them the video. But for those who haven't, once I know that it's going through, we'll do a little tour. I'm hoping to get the keys to go and do some measurements because we're going to change some of the doors and stuff. So I need to get some measurements for that. But that's in Wickford, which is about 15 minutes from here, roughly 10, 15 minutes. It's not miles away, but it's far enough away. I don't have a lot of work in that area. Now, you basically grew up in that area since moving to here. And even you don't have a hell of a lot of work in that area, do you?
No.
So I'm thinking I'm going to do that same process, but for Wickford, Runwell, Shopgate. Try and build a pretty decent window cleaning round in those areas.
That'd be handy, wouldn't it?
And then if I can build that up to the point where, so I've got like 150 customers now, 160. If I can double that in that area, I can then take someone on to run all the cleaning side of things. And then
that's it, mate,
I'll go out of them. Ideally, what I want to do is work 1 day a week at the unit full time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be cleaning every day. And then that'll allow me time to do these campaigns, do marketing, work on the podcast.
Nice, mate.
Anything else that may or may not be doing. So we're also setting up, not that this is related to cleaning, we're setting up a new business for my wife as well, doing laser hair and tattoo removal. And they'll be set up in the same unit.
So for all them window cleaners got the tattoo of the Rex bird on their neck,
let us know.
Give them a shout and she can get it off you.
So, and I'm going to be doing all the marketing and stuff for that. So that's going to take up a lot of time as well. Just a busy few months.
Yeah, definitely.
Ahead.
Coming up huge.
But it's almost best and worst time of year to do it. So worst time of year because it's slightly quieter and there's not as much money coming in. But,
it's slow, isn't it?
And the baby, but also got more time on my hands because work's a little less busy.
Yeah, I've noticed it's very quiet recently.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's been going on. It's all a bit much.
Good, mate. Good.
Yeah.
It's all a step in the right direction, isn't it?
You started building the website for the new business as well, which is quite fun.
Very good. What's the new business?
It's called Renew Beauty Clinic.
Oh, for that one, yeah.
Yeah. So, and we've basically planned out everything that needs doing.
Nice.
Which is nice. Just got to get the funds together now. But yeah.
Good,
how's
mate.
your holidays been? Because you ain't been doing fuck all work recently, have you?
Yeah. So we was in Greece in a place called Lindos, which was incredible. Mate, honestly, if you ain't been, Google it, or at least have a Google if you don't want to go there, or just have a little look, just entertain it. It's incredible. It's a really small little village, right next to a hill with an acropolis on top of it, and it's in a bay area, and it is breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
The water's completely clear. It's incredible. Good food. Mate, the Greek food is actually bang on.
I do like a bit of Greek food.
Yeah. My missus was like screw-facing me. I was having like sea bass for breakfast. She's like, wait, what are you doing, you
Was she
weirdo?
having like chicken nuggets?
No, she was, what was she having? Oh, she was just having like omelettes and things like that. But mate, it was incredible. But yeah, it was great. And then I come back and then I had something brewing in I go away again on Thursday. It just so happened they have all fallen in like 3 weeks of each other. And then I had an inquiry that was on the back burner for quite some time for a pressure wash for quite a lot of spaces. It was for a caravan park, and it was on the back burner. And I was, when you're shooting a message to someone and it's just never coming through, and they're, my day off today, I'll call you tomorrow. Never call. I'll call them. Telephone tennis and all that.
Yeah.
So then you rang me and you said, "What am I doing Friday?" And I went, "I'm going up there. That's it. I'm just going up there." So I shot up there Friday, just gone, and I met the person I was parlaying with and the big boss as well. And he said, "Right, let's get cracking." And I went, "Right." So he registered me on the system, all the rest of it, and I said, "I'm going to do a walkthrough and then I'll give you a price." So I had a walk round, mate, 175 driveways on this park. Then there was 40 something of this other one, and they want all their public walkways done as well.
Yeah.
So it's quite a giant job, but it's it doesn't really fit within the parameters of how we normally work, shall we say?
Yeah.
In terms of pricing and bits and pieces. I mean,
But you're not, the parameters of the job isn't what you'd normally do as well. So
well, this is it. So it's a massive learning curve. I mean, he might look at the quote and be like, "No, this is ridiculous," or he might look at it and go, "Yeah, it's competitive," or "It's good," or "Yeah."
I think it's interesting to touch on that just whilst, because I see a lot of people, obviously on the Facebook groups, you get a lot of people that like 3-bedroom semi-detached house. They're like, "How much do you charge for this?" And it's like, you should have your pricing for that down to a T.
Yeah.
But with something like this, if you quoted that at a normal rate, wouldn't it worked out like over 20 grand, didn't it?
No, it was like over 40.
Over 40 grand,
Yeah.
which is just unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like a company's not going to pay that to have, that pressure washed. It's just not going to happen.
So I got my figures. So if I'm going to paint you a picture, I got my figures off. So I've sat in the office and he said to me, "What's a single car driveway, right?" And I thought, well, how long's a bit of string?
Yeah.
It's a very expansive question. And I went, look, I said, roughly speaking, you're probably looking between 12 and 15 square metres, right? I was way off. It's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he went, "What does that equate to?" I charge £3.75 a metre. Everyone's going to shudder.
I think that's pretty reasonable.
£3.75 a metre with the treatment and the sanding, and it was, and I said it's about, I don't know, 50 or 60 quid, something like that. And he went, "Well, that's doable for a single." And then he's got double driveways as well. And he said, "Well, how much is a double?" And I said, "Well, look, I'm going to get you a price for it." I mean, realistically speaking, I'd like to say he assumed it would be double because it's a double car driveway.
You would like to assume that, but that's just not how people work.
I should imagine in his head he said, "No, it's another 25 quid." Do you know what I mean? So I've gone round and counted. I didn't count the singles and the doubles because that's just ridiculous. I'm not got a tape measure. I'll be there I'll still be there now. But rule of thumb, generally speaking, there was just under half was doubles.
Yeah.
And then singles. So priced it as, I had to cut my rate down as well because the price was just crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cut it down to about £2 a square metre. But I mean, like if you're talking about 12,500 square metres, that's generally what it's coming in at.
Now I think we'll probably there'll be a certain amount of people that say you should work on day rate, like work out a day rate and then just work out how many days it would take you to do it. But my beef with that, when people say that, is like, all you're doing is you're selling yourself short.
You just don't win, do you? You're never going to get anywhere.
You're just selling your time.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, if that's what you want to do in your business, then fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, if it's like a side hustle for you or whatever, and you've got something else on the go. But like, as far as I'm concerned, we're all trying to get rich. Like, why else would you? I don't know why else you'd put yourself through the trials and tribulations of running your own business, where it's more difficult to get a mortgage, it's more difficult to get time off because you don't earn. You know, everything's a little bit more difficult if you're not trying to earn more money than like going to work.
Mate, totally.
So, unless your day rate is 1,500 quid a day, which would be pretty reasonable.
But then it's like, okay, but then you can argue it till you die.
Yeah.
Right? So day rate, so what would you want? Bearing in mind, like, you've got to look at all the leg work, the back work, like all the phone calls I've put into them, say, all the text message, that's not accounted for.
No.
I'm not going to spend 2 months trying to close a deal just to earn 2.5 or 300 quid a day.
No.
I don't see the point in that. And then also, so what about the sand?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about all the chemical? And what about the petrol?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what, is that got to come out of your wages?
But people don't think about that, I think. I think that's the problem with being like in an industry where it's very easy to set up. There's no you don't have to know what you're doing to set up a business doing it.
No, not at all,
people get caught short because they don't know what they're doing. And like we've said this before, when you do price work, like, which is how it should be, like, I would class charging per square metre as price work because it's a set price.
Yeah. That is price work, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, you could argue price work is like, how much is that job? It's this much, but like how you price it, you know. If someone could, charge per day, it'd still be price work, regardless. I think you can't argue with it. You can't argue and say, well, that price is ridiculous, and say, well, this is what I charge per square metre. For 1 square metre, do you think £3 is ridiculous? Like, did you get your pressure washer off the van, clean that square for less than 3 quid?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Or do you think that's a good deal? Well, that's a good deal. Well, if you've got 40,000 square metres, do you think £3 a good deal?
That's what I mean.
Just because you've got a lot of floor doesn't mean I haven't got to do less work.
But this is, I mean, we touched on it on a phone call as well. It's like, if you was to ring up, let's say you're a window. You can apply it to anything, yeah? You can apply it to absolutely anything. Let's just take what we've got already in front of us. So, okay, £3.75 a square metre, works absolutely perfect for residential. Comes out really well, everyone's pleased with it. I've never really had, of the jobs I've had, I've never had someone come out and go, oh, it's not really to my liking. We're all blown away by it, yeah? Probably the same as you. And exactly what you said, I can clean 1 square metre of your property for £3.75 and have it looking as best as it can be, right? Just because you've multiplied it now by, say, 40,000.
Yeah.
Why does it? Okay, so 40,000. Yeah. If I said to you, you got 40,000 square metre job, right? You'd be like, all right. Now you would really be inclined, if you could do it in a month, you'd probably be inclined to even go down and go, I'll do it for £1.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, our budget's 25, and you're sitting there thinking it's still a month's work.
Yeah.
Mate, now you clean it for like 50p a square metre. Do you see what I mean? But it's like, it's a horrible, so you need to get...
But your chemical and your sand don't get any cheaper.
Exactly. Everything don't get cheaper.
No.
Like, mate, you're one blown hose away from it costing you money. Do you see what I mean?
And like, I think if you were doing a job of that scale for the month, the machine's going to take a beating.
I reckon that'll kill my machine. Potentially that'll kill my... I'll retire it if I get that job. If I get that job, then I'll retire the machine.
It'd probably be worth you investing in a new machine
before I go.
Prior to doing
because
it.
it's like, it's probably going to be running for 8 to 10 hours a day.
And also, having the new machine you'll do the job quicker.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all well and good saying, I'll buy a new one with the proceeds.
What's the point?
But you're going to work harder. You're going to work harder on that job.
So yeah, it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. And then you start breaking it down. I mean, I rang Ryan on the way back. Because he's my mentor. No, I rang Ryan on the way back just as a bit of advice. Because I come away and I was talking to the client, and then they're like, well, we'll be at like 60 quid for a single drive, yeah? And then you're like, okay. And now you sat there and you're like, well, you've got, even if you had 175 singles, yeah? Even if you had 175 singles, really, I know people might go, you're a greedy fucker. Realistically, I've got to do 10 a day to make it worthwhile, right?
Well, straight away, it's about 10 grand, right? If they were all singles, 175, roughly 10 grand. But break it down to per driveway, 60 quid. Say you do a tenner in hypo, so like a third of a bottle, which I think is reasonable.
That's fair, yeah. And then 1 bag of sand.
1 bag of sand,
that's £4.
Which is 4 quid.
That's 14 quid.
So then you.
And what, a pound in juice? That's 15 quid.
Yeah, so 15 quid off of the 60, that's £45 left. Then you minus your 20% tax.
No, okay, but do 10 a day. This is how I worked it out. I done 10 a day. I've got to give 2 of them straight away.
Yeah.
And I took a third one off for materials. So now I'm left with
7.
Yeah. So out of that 7 now, I've still got to get there.
Yeah.
Pay everything, phone bill, I've still got to be here and breathe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then that's every day for like moving forward. So it's like, it's all well and good, but like, don't forget, I still have to do 10 a day.
Yeah.
If I go there and something goes wrong or there's a car on the driveway, now I'm behind.
Yeah. That would be my concern.
And then I sat there and I was driving back and I sat there and I said to my missus and I was like, I'm quite deflated. And she went, why? And I went, I'm not saying I've lost it or nothing. I said, but I've actually got, I know I'm not saying it, like, I've had better residential days.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And it's like, I've got this thinking, not all my troubles will be gone, but I'm thinking I'm going to eat all right out of this. And in reality, I'm going to be a busy fool.
But it's, I said to you, like, if you're set up, you've got 4 vans and 6 staff members, and you've got to pay wages, that's a perfect little job. Because you can put 2 people on that job for the month, they get it done in 2 weeks, say, and you've earned the money to pay all 6 staff members for the month. Well, it's 2 weeks, 2 weeks work for 6 staff members' wages for the month. Brilliant. You chalk it up, and that's the sort of job that helps you with cash flow, not with turnover, and not with profit, really, as much. Because I think, like, if you break it down, there's probably, at 60 quid a driveway, there's probably 30 quid, 30 quid of profit per driveway. And like lots of people would argue, if you've done 10 a day, 250, 300 quid a day is good.
That's a lot of work though, mate. 10 driveways. Mate, sanding 10 driveways.
And that's cleaning for like 10 hours a day,
Mate, you've got to be consistently good for 10 hours of that day.
Yeah.
And that last driveway will take you 2 hours.
An hour and 15-minute drive from here, isn't it?
Yeah, so about an hour, yeah.
So imagine you drive an hour and 15 and it's raining and all you've got on that day is to sand.
Yeah, mate, honestly.
And it's just a wasted day.
It can be, that's what I'm saying, like this is where people, and also as well is like, when sometimes as well when you quote jobs, and like, I've had it before, I've had a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've had rebuttals all the time of this, and they go, oh, what, like 500, or say like 320 quid to clean my driveway, or like whatever, I don't know, 250 quid for what, half a day's work to clean, half a day's work. And I go, you're not paying me for half a day's work, you're paying me to clean the driveway. Yeah. If you've got a stubborn stain and I'm there for 4 hours, I've got to be there, because I've got to clean. Do you understand what I mean? You're paying for the outcome, you ain't paying for what I'm doing.
Or you say to them, okay, pay me my hourly rate, which is 60 quid an hour.
And if I have to stand there for 2 hours. It takes me
3 hours to do it, so that's 180.
Yeah.
Then you've got to hire the machine, go down to Mark 1, hire the machine, that's going to run you 90, 100 quid for the day. Then you've got to top it up with fuel and then re-top it up before you drop it back.
Yeah.
250 sounds like a good deal now, doesn't it, mate?
I'll see what they say. But it's just an interesting scenario, because like, and then you've got to take into consideration payment days is 30 from end of EOM, end of month, and then there's a lot in it, and it's like, I can understand why businesses go under when they step in the corporate world, because it's quite a, I feel like I've just opened up the door in this big like meat factory and there's just knives all swinging around and I've got to try and get to the other end of it.
Yeah,
it's like
and it's the same with domestic, right? You can't tar the commercial worker with one brush. Like, that guy's obviously not willing to spend the money. He doesn't see the value in your job.
Who?
The guy who owns this park.
Oh no, he ain't said anything yet.
No, but if he wants a cheap, he's already saying he wants a cheaper deal than what you've quoted.
Yeah.
So he's not seeing the value of what you cleaning that all up is going to bring to his park.
Mate, it will transform.
Yeah, it's going to look awesome. But he's not seeing that. He's just seeing
pound notes.
The pound notes and how much he's going to take off his bottom line. If you had that in the domestic world, it's not the customer you want there either.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, yeah.
So, and then you'll go and you might go to a different caravan park and the guy's like, we want to keep it clean all year round.
Yeah.
Like, we pride ourselves. We charge a premium to the people staying here and we guarantee that it looks awesome all year round. There won't be any overgrown weeds, you know, we look after it all and he'd be more than happy to pay the money.
Totally.
So you get, it swings and roundabouts.
While we're on this subject, I've got to just touch on a voice note Sillard sent me from Bama Per Clean.
He just texted me actually.
And and a couple of weeks ago we said about, you know, the big contracts job. You know, when you have like 5 or 6 big contracts. And he made a good point, and he said if someone batters you down on it, if he says you can't ever move on price on them big contracts. He says because out of say $100,000 contract, if they say can you do it for say 90, you might actually only have 20 grand profit in it.
Yeah.
So now you've not taken a 20% hit
off yourself.
Yeah, you've taken a 50% hit on your profit for that job.
Yeah, you're not discounting for them, you're discounting for you.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So this is your costs don't change.
Yeah,
you can't call up your the cost wherever you need to do the job. You can't call them up and go, oh, my client's just knocked me down by 10%. Can you take 10% off of my materials?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, no.
It would be interesting if anyone's done any big commercial work, like anything over 1,000 square metres, and what happened with the price, if it did change at all. I should imagine it would have changed. But yeah, if anyone's done anything like that, can you let us know, please, in the comments?
Yeah, let us know, see how it goes. How much did you discount it?
Yeah, if you
did, yeah. If you didn't, then fucking happy days, mate. And also, it'd be good to know whether the way you got that commercial job, do you have a mate that, you know...
Yeah, is on the in.
Is your best mate the fucking area manager for Tesco's and has asked you to clean all the car parks and is happy to sort of put through the full cost price? Or is it, you know, genuine inquiry? Because that's a very, very different ball game.
What's like a big commercial job you've done then? Have you ever had to take a hit on the price?
For pressure washing, I haven't had that many. I don't think I've had any big commercial jobs. But no, I wouldn't discount my price. I've quoted quite a few, which I haven't won. I've won quite a few commercial gutter jobs, and I've turned out to be the cheapest in some of those situations.
Really?
Yeah, that one you done with me.
Oh, mate, yeah, you was the cheapest by a lot.
By
as well,
double.
Yeah.
Double, yeah.
But by double or by half? Depends which way you look at it.
Tomato, yeah. But yeah, that one, he told us, didn't he, the next cheapest quote was twice what I quoted.
I find that wild.
Yeah. But I wasn't that registered at the time, and the other guy was. So knowing what I know now, I mean, I'm happy to do that job because he has me in twice a year.
But it still would have been 80% more plus the 20%, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been. Sense. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, knowing what I know now, being VAT registered, you almost have to charge a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah, because you've just got so many more costs involved with being VAT registered. Like you're a bigger company.
More storage.
Yeah, it's like we're been VAT registered 2 minutes, and I'm already doubling their fucking warehouse costs.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But I need to do that because for me to I feel like at the point where I'm at now with the VAT registration turnover, I'm going to lose almost 20%. So I've big borrowed and stilled up to 90 grand a year, and then you go VAT registered, and then all of a sudden, people don't necessarily want to pay the higher prices.
Would you say you've lost 10%?
I'd say, yeah, probably. I know it's a rough time of year to be gauging it, but say it's started to pick up now. I've closed a lot of work this week, but a few of them I've sort of incorporated the VAT into the price, so I've not charged plus VAT.
Oh, so you've just hidden it?
Yeah. No, I've just not charged it. So I've just, instead of it being plus VAT, I've just done it including VATs at the original price.
So you're taking it just a 20% hit?
Yeah, because I want the work coming in.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm not going to discount my price, but to get the work.
Well, you are really. Yeah.
Well, kind of, yeah. But I'm not going to say it's
it's lower plus VAT.
Yeah. I'm just going to stick to the same pricing structure.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I've just swallowed the VAT for a certain amount of jobs. It's not, it's not something I'm going to do going forwards forever.
Yeah.
But it's just to get out of this little slump of
nothingness,
low work. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you've got to keep busy, ain't you? Because luck comes to busy people, doesn't it?
And also, cash flow. Like, I would still make a profit doing 600 quid a week.
Yeah.
But if I get a few delayed payments,
now you're in the red.
I'm going to have to cover some money at the end of the month.
I know what you're saying.
So it's good to just have the cash flow, and it's like that job. Sometimes if you've got a high amount of money going out at the end of the month, having that job come in at, a little bit above, your cost price.
I've got a question for you, talking about the new unit. Do you think growth in a business comes retrospectively? So do you think if you was to get the unit, right, but not have the demand for it yet, do you think you'll put yourself out there in the universe, so to speak, so that you can grow?
Absolutely.
That's
how I've always run my businesses. So you put yourself under, it's far too easy to get comfortable. And I feel like, not in a bad way, because you just haven't had the same experience as me. But if we stayed here, you would just carry on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And we'd eat good, don't get me wrong.
Like the growth would be there, but it wouldn't be as quick. It would be like in 5 years
you'd take on more work, but then it's very easy to get comfortable. And it's almost like you might try and take on a staff member and it just doesn't work. And then you go, I'm not going to bother with staff member. I've got my unit, I've got, it's all local, I'm getting more work coming in, like why bother? But then you put yourself in a position to grow, and that's why I don't like having money in the bank. So I just think it needs to work for you. So obviously you don't want to spend it on stupid shit, but if I've got grand sitting there, I'll throw it on marketing, because I can turn that into 4 or 5 grand, and it keeps you busy, and you stay hungry. You're always going to be chasing that next. And before you know it, you'll have 15 grand a month coming in.
Yeah, it does make sense what you're saying.
Although it's not, you're not, because we don't work in an industry where all the work is like that, where you've got 15, 20, 25 grand jobs coming in. Generally, it's lots of smaller amounts, 200s, 300s, or window cleaning, 30s, 40s. That growth isn't necessarily, you're not necessarily going to go from 1 month at 10 grand to the next month at 50 grand because you've had 2 good jobs come in or whatever. There's going to be a much slower increase. So having to spend that money on marketing is good. So you spend the grand this month, but it turns into 4 for the next month.
Yeah.
Then you spend the 2 grand next, so you only then end up with 2 grand profit, but you might spend that on something else. You might decide to take on a staff member or whatever, and then that's all gone, but you still need to carry on.
Yeah, as you were.
Spending to grow. But yeah, I think it's far too easy to get comfortable. And it's nice if that's what you want. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just not for me. I want to be able to sit. I don't want to not work, but I don't want to go out window cleaning every day. I want to go to the office and I want to make content and I want to market. I like marketing. So I want to come up with new ways to market, create these funny skits that we do, which I think are brilliant. Do the podcast.
That levelling up one made me giggle.
Whilst we're sending out staff members to go and do the cleaning.
That's a good idea, yeah.
I want to focus on closing work, and getting other jobs in. So I think it's very important to stay under pressure.
It is, isn't it?
We're too young to get comfortable as well.
Yeah.
Like if it was 40, 50 and you're looking to sort of settle down and you just want the last easy 10 years of your career, then I think it's a different story.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I sometimes think to myself, oh man, you're busy. Do you know what I mean? And then I look over at you and I go fucking like sometimes we ring each other and we're like, mate, I can't even answer the phone right now, mate. I'm disappearing big time. Do you know what I mean? I'll call you back and then 3 days goes by and you think, whoa, mate, what's going on? But then we look at other people and you're like, oh no, you're killing it, big man. But I bet they're looking at someone else as well.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like it's very good to exactly what you said, but I feel like you need to sit there every now and then. Maybe not 1 day a week, but 1 cup of tea a week and just look at where you were. Because I think that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
I think this time last year, I was running out of the back of a van.
Yeah.
And just probably 13 months ago, I think we've been in this unit for 12 months.
There you go.
13, 14 months ago, I had two vans that was storing all my equipment in. I had some in the garage at home.
I remember
and then 6 months before that, I had 1 van. And 6 months before that, I had a little tiny, like
Astra,
your original van.
Yeah.
Combo it was.
Combo. Oh, was it a combo?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, we both started roughly in the same van.
Didn't have. I think we should have had electric windows.
Mate, it's unbelievable, isn't it? But isn't it good though, isn't it, to look back?
Yeah.
I sit there sometimes.
And I think that it's difficult as an entrepreneur. Your mind doesn't allow you to take pride in what you've achieved.
I read something, sorry to interrupt you, while we're on it, I read something incredible, and it was, some people's mindsets are, when you get over a big point in your life, you're not happy you've done it, you're glad it's over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I was like, when I read it, I was like, holy shit, Keith. Like, you know when you do something mental, like if you close that deal, like if I close that caravan park and I go and knock it out, I'd be like, great, I'm glad it's over. Next one. And it's like, whoa, mate, do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
So you said it when we got here today, and I was like, I can't wait to see the back of this unit.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and it was everything you wanted.
Who else in this area? Yeah. I don't know anyone who's got a warehouse for their window cleaning business.
Mate,
like,
totally.
I should be proud of that, but I'm like, no, I fucking want it.
Isn't it mad?
I don't want it anymore.
We see one roller shutter and now we're just wanking each other off. Like, we can't wait to get in now. It's funny, mate. It's just the way your brain's
and
wired.
there's so much work involved in that new unit.
I can't wait to get stuck into it.
So much.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Got a nice little bit of carpentry work to be doing.
There's loads of bits, isn't it?
I've got 8 doors to buy that all need hanging and locks putting on and coded locks. I don't want keys.
But they're only batteries, aren't they? They're pretty easy.
I don't even think they're batteries, I think they're manual. You know the ones they put on side gates.
Oh, them! Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like the beep beep.
No, I think I'm going to put a digital one on the front door.
Yeah.
And we've got to install all the security cameras. Clean it all up.
Mate,
getting all the stuff out of here and into the new unit is going to be a big enough job.
That's a heavy weekend, mate.
Mate, I think it's going to be.
I think we should
2 weeks.
I think we should appeal to our subscribers and have 289 geezers standing here.
What I am going to do though, which I've decided, once it's all ready, once we're all done and it's looking all lovely, we're going to have like an open day.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Where you can come down, have a cup of tea, shoot the shit.
Yeah,
we might do like a big podcast.
Yeah.
Like a 9-hour podcast.
What, for everyone?
Yeah. Just as people visit, they can just jump in.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Have a chat with us.
I think that's a quality
We don't
idea.
have to run it all day, but like.
The cameras will be there, and if they want to jump on, you can jump on.
Just like a launch party.
Yeah, why not?
Like a launch party. So keep your ears peeled if you're, even if you're not local. And
keep your ears peeled, everyone. Yeah, you never know.
You want to run down to the old Essex and
there'll be some local people want to come down for sure.
Yeah. So I think I'm excited. I am excited. I don't feel like I'm under a lot of stress, even though I am.
I think it's interesting with growth, like just going back to it, we was talking about, I remember the biggest email when I first started, but like, I'm only talking from my experience. I mean, you've probably got these emails as well. But like, I remember when I first started, like the biggest job I heard of was like $4,000. And then it was like, right, I've done that one. And then I had one for $5,500. And then I sent an email, but I didn't win it, and it was $12,500. Do you remember with you?
Yeah.
And it was like unbelievable. I was like, here we go. Like we're in the big league now. We didn't get it, but the email was sent.
I've probably quoted. So the biggest one I ever quoted was Southend Hospital window clean. That was like $65,000.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Was it 3 years?
I can't remember what it was, but it was the company that I quoted for didn't win the tender.
Yeah.
So they were putting together a tender. It was more than just the window cleaning. It was lots of cleaning, but the window cleaning was part of it, and they didn't win the contract, so it didn't go anywhere. But I've put together a load of quotes.
But isn't it nice though, seeing them go out, and it's like it all started with an idea, and now someone's actually coming to you and wanting your services for that amount of money. I think it's mind blowing.
Yeah, even if they don't go ahead.
No, but totally. But even if they don't, you're still there. You're in the running.
Exactly.
You're still in the race. A lot of people don't even get to enter.
The other thing that might be a little bit controversial and is completely related to business. So we're setting up this new business, which is for my wife really. So she's a beautician, has been for a number of years, and she used to do the laser hair removal, which is quite a cool concept. So this machine that we're looking at buying does laser hair removal, laser tattoo removal, and it's a thing called carbon facials. But it's £40,000, this machine.
I bet this thing is massive, isn't it?
It's not that big, no. It's about the size of this chair.
You're joking me? Has it got like an arm on it or like a gun on it?
It's got like it's a laser connected to the machine.
But but is it a laser that she holds, or does the laser move on its own arm?
No, she holds the laser. It's like on a gun sort of thing. So we're putting in. So we've got to obviously find $40,000 plus the money to like sort of renovate the office space. So So I'm putting in my own savings into this, my life savings. And
how are you going to get the other 38?
49. I've got to go work and earn some more money.
Mate, I thought it was 40. Your life savings is £9,000 in debt.
No, so her mum's putting some money in, and then I'm putting in the money I'm getting from my nan's inheritance. Right. So it's not even in yet, and I've spent it. But like, it got me thinking, and I was like, in 10 years from now, and you say it's a success, and we do well, and we've got like multiple chains and lots of staff members, and someone comes to me and goes, do you want to come on our podcast? And they go, how did you start? And I'll go, well, I put in my life savings. I didn't have a house. I lived at with my mother-in-law's, and instead of buying a house for my family, I put money into this business. And right now, like me saying it out loud, I'm like, it's a fucking stupid idea.
No, but that's dedication, and that's how it works.
But that's like, I think it's going to work. I can see it. It has to work.
I've got
because it's my life savings.
No, totally. But then, see, the thing is as well is when you're driving the ship of your life savings, it won't.
The risk is high, but the risk is. This goes back to the
comfort.
Staying comfy. I could just not do that.
Yeah.
And I could just have the money in the bank.
Yeah,
and
totally. And look at it.
I can't spend it at the moment anyway, because I need another year's accounts before I can get a mortgage.
No, mate, I hear you entirely.
But if I spend it, it's almost like I've put a countdown on. Well, I need that money back within 15 months. Because that's when my mortgage is going to be ready to go. Right.
So if you was to do that then, right? If you was to do that, are you going to sit there and be like, oh, fuck it, don't worry about it, mate. Like, don't worry about marketing, we'll just go down the pub. No, because it's like, mate, there's a lot riding on this. You're going to be grinding proper.
I'm going to be at home, being miserable.
I'll tell you an anecdote I read, right? And I think it was in the 70s or it was in the 80s. And do you know FedEx? Mm-hmm. So FedEx... I can't remember it exactly, right? But it's like this. When he first started, he had like 2 planes. Yeah. And he had vans and that, and he built up to 2 or 3 planes, right? And the fuel bill was enormous. The fuel bill was like 49 grand, right? He couldn't afford it. He didn't have the money. All he had was like 18, right? So do you know what he done? When everyone left on Friday, his office was in America. When everyone left on Friday, he got on a plane, he went to Vegas. He was like, I'm going anyway. He was like, I'm dead anyway. You know, the business is gone. If I don't come back with this 40-odd grand, it's gone. Mate, did he win or did he not? He's still going today. Yeah. He turned it into what he needed, come back, and then boom, it was in the safe, ready to go. I was like, mate, the energy, bro.
The risk, bro. The risk.
The risk is insane. I'm not saying everyone go down the casino, but it's like when you sit there and it's like, big man, I have to roll a 6, mate. Like I cannot leave this table until I've won.
Yeah. I mean, the casino's probably a little bit too risky for me.
It's extreme, but mate, I'm not saying it will happen, but what I mean is when you're, like, you have to look at it as like, I'm cooked either way.
Yeah, that's it.
If I don't take this and do anything, I'm done.
That's it. It might seem a little bit dramatic because a lot of people are just like, well, I'm just a window cleaner, mate, like what are you getting stressed for? But we're talking about growing. And I think since I found out about Lee Pryor with the 2.4 million turnover, I just think, do you think he's thinking, oh, fucking, I don't need to do no marketing?
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, no, he's, like,
I bet he's that mindset. Is he thinking, like, how can I get a new van? How can, like, is the warehouse big enough? Yeah. You know, where can we save money on making our own water? He's probably got, you know...
He's probably got a well in his back garden.
15,000 litres of pure water on the go at any one point.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
And it's like, that's where I want to be, man.
Yeah, it can happen.
I don't want to be...
It's good as well, I think. It's good as well to have a goal. Do you know what I mean? It's like... I kind of fell into this, which was... I kind of fell into doing this, and I think for that 6 months of still falling and working out where you want to be, it's the most lost 6 months of my life. And it's like, now I'm set, and it's like, right, now there's a goal, and you've kind of put the blinkers on me a little bit, and I'm like, right, now I know where I'm going.
I think sometimes as well, it's hard... If you can't see the end... goal,
you can never work backwards.
You can never work backwards.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, I get it now. And so we spent a good part of 3 days. So we viewed the unit, I made the offer, and we started planning this new business. We only decided on the name yesterday. So we viewed it on what, Thursday?
Yeah.
So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Sunday night. So 3.5 days. 3.5 days I spent not being able to make any progress on anything because I couldn't think of a name for this business. And I was like, if I don't come up with a name, it's not meant to be. And that was what's on my brain. I was like, if it doesn't click, if I can't see an end goal, I can't see it looking how I want it to look in my head, then I don't think we should do it. Unfortunately, we came up with a really good name, and I can see
thank God
it.
for that.
And
As if you'd been an idea for
as soon as I had the name,
the
logo took me 45 seconds because I could see it.
You could see it in your
The
head.
website is already like half done. The branding, all the colours are done. The website, the company's been set up, the bank account's been opened.
Yeah.
Like, from that moment, it was like, whew,
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
It does makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Just go, and it was, it works. So hopefully it works.
Yeah, mate, of course it will. It's like, it grows where you water it, doesn't it?
Very true.
It does grow where you water it.
That's why I want to try and spend a day at the unit as well, because then I can be there on site.
I think that's
how it works.
Honestly, I think that's the secret. I think to winning, like genuinely, like I've had busy months before, right? And it's like, mate, you haven't even got 5 minutes.
No.
Have you? And it's like, I know, like, it sounds silly, but it's like, when I get 5 minutes, I'll do that. Like, unless you're literally doing it at 9:30 at night, you ain't doing that in the day.
No.
And it's like, what good is your brain at 9:30 at night?
And also, like, you can't call anyone.
No.
So, like, if you need to ask a question to a supplier for something, you can't call them because they're not there.
Yeah, exactly. They're
so
all
you
at
need
home
time during the day.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Like, how efficient. I think a day, 8 hours, like Monday to Friday, during normal working hours would probably be like 3 of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Running around like idiots, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to do this, trying to do that.
You can't call up like prospective quotes
at
9 o'clock at night. That's just...
But you're trying to upload videos and you're on the phone to someone to try and, like, I don't know, pay a check-in. And it's like, mate, this is just normal people stuff, but I'm too busy.
Yeah.
And all this while you're on lunch. And you're trying to wolf down a sandwich. It just don't go right, does it?
No, it's not good. You do know, I think that's the key to business. You got to... And there's another thing, people get comfortable with the amount of money they have. And to grow a business, you've got to sacrifice some money. So it can be very easy to enjoy your $4,000 a month that's coming in, that's all yours. But if you want to earn $8,000 a month for yourself, you might have to take on 2 staff members and quadruple the amount of work you're doing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But for a long period of time between getting to A to B, you might only be able to pay yourself $2,000 a month because you've got to spend the other 2 employing someone. Speaking
of marketing, I spoke to 2 fellas. I went to when I was in Greece. I was at a wedding and I was talking to 2 fellas, and they want to come on the pod.
Yeah.
And they are one of them had a air conditioning business. Mate, I'd love to have him on. He's coming on. He wants to. He started, him and his mate, and they got up to, I think it was 230 fellas.
It's mental, isn't it?
And like that even blows my mind.
That's crazy.
To think you're paying 230 sets of wages.
That's crazy.
And then the other one works in marketing, and he markets for, he takes people from 1 million a year turnover to like over 2, over 3.
Yeah.
And he's obviously, some of his clients are incredible. But it's like, it's not industries that we don't know.
Yeah.
So he was telling me one of them does loft boarding. That's all he does. He just boards lofts. Now in my head, if you board a loft, it's done. For 20,
but imagine
years.
doing £1 million in loft boarding.
Yeah.
There's going to be more to the business than loft boarding. I promise you that.
Yeah.
But for the premise of the business is loft boarding.
Oh, was you there, mate, as well?
No, but you can't make a £1 million business doing one thing. There's got to be another form of it. Name me one big business that has a single source of income.
Apple. Technology, isn't it?
What? And they don't charge you for storage. They don't take commission from the App Store.
Yeah, I know.
They don't have Apple TV.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay, so what about the other one? The other one was artificial grass, laying artificial grass, 2.2 million a year.
Yeah, so then there'll be installation.
It's still laying artificial grass.
They'll probably do surround with like slabs and stuff if you pay them enough money. They'll probably have some sort of care procedure afterwards.
We'll get him on it, yeah? You grill him as much as you're
I will.
Mate, this was just in passing, by the way.
I guarantee you there'll be more than one source of income.
There probably will be. But
I'm not saying I know the answer. I'm just saying, like, you can't turn over £1 million with one source of income. There's got to be somewhere else along the line. Whether if you install kitchens...
Oh, did I not tell you? He's a stockbroker. He only does one job on a Saturday.
If you install kitchens, you might then also sell pre-made kitchens. So you might sell bespoke kitchens, but also have a part of your thing where you just knock up pre-made units and then just ship them out. Flat pack sort of thing. Because you've got the machine there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you use
it? I hear you.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear you. But it's just interesting.
I tried to get on the podcast.
Who?
Kirk Norcross, from Towie.
Right.
So he's got a jet washing company, which he sold. So Jordan knows him. He used to buy his chemicals from Jordan. So he sold it during the height of Towie, I guess, to this fella who just didn't run it very well. Then he's now bought it back, I think. And then he stopped doing it again. And now he's bought it back again. So he's got the van and everything. And he's started up doing the jet washing again.
Yeah?
So I messaged him and I was like, look, mate, got the old External Cleaning podcast. You want to jump on? He said, sorry, it's not for me.
Really?
I said, no worries, pal.
Listen, there's already one of us from Towie. We can't have
that's it. I should have told him, actually. I should have said.
Hey, big man, what episode was you? Yeah, no, it's... do you know what? This podcast ain't for a lot of people. I feel like it's us.
Look, I don't know if he didn't look at the podcast because he replied almost immediately to my message and just said,
maybe on the way.
Mate. Let's hope not. Middle of the podcast, mate. You have to wait. Curbside Cleaning, how can I help? Yeah. Some people like the podcast, some people don't. But yeah, I think some people just don't want to go on podcasts. I know he's done a few, but they always talk about like his personal life and shit. Well, I don't give a fuck about that.
Do you know what? What annoys me about some podcasts is they talk about. I know we digress, but when we talk about business, I think we go in quite a good level of depth. I wouldn't say we go to the deepest depths, but we do talk about some good stuff. I don't think we're
qualified to go into the deepest of depths.
No, but like a lot of people just talk about, so what drugs did you do, mate? Or
DMT? That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
That's what I mean. It's like
that DMT was a direct shot at Joe Rogan, by the way. He asked everyone that, didn't he? But like he's at that level, which is good. But like some people, and they're just like, they get people in front of them and they're like, oh right, yeah, so you smoked weed when you was younger. It's like, come on, man.
I think weed's a bigger thing in America than it is here.
I just don't get it that much. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why have you got that person on that platform and you're talking about...
Well, for me, this podcast is about cleaning.
Yeah.
Like a business, cleaning businesses.
Yeah.
Like, fair enough if you want to talk about like how you got abused by your uncle as a child. Like, bring it up, man. Like, we'll compare notes or something. But like, I'm not going to ask you questions about it.
Yeah, I find that weird. Who did you prefer though, your uncle or your scout leader?
It's like, you can't really put a favourite on it, can you?
Right, I think
it's like length versus girth, isn't it?
I think we should leave it there, mate.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up, Sam.
Do you know, that's why they don't want to come on here.
Probably. Fuck 'em!
Everyone, thank you for listening. We've got some good guests, we've got some good content coming up, so keep watching and we will hopefully see you at the new unit. And remember,
stay cleaning.